Kids off school, so today's episode from the garage. Welcome to Access Black Belt podcast that focuses on karate, mental health and everything in between. We moved our gym from the location where it was fully matted to a church hall, which brings a lot of stress. The move was very stressful. I was not sure if it's gonna work. It's center of Guildford, so the problems with the parking, moving the mats were not enough. I had to go and grab some more, taking them down, laying them down. It's something that I forgot how complicated it can be, and it eats up into a time for the session. So I'm not gonna go into the reasons why we moved from the previous gym. Owner, super nice guy, Jesse. It just didn't work for us for a few various reasons. Nothing to do with the personnel, it's just the building and accessibility of it for a clients that I'm working with disabilities was not user friendly. So anyway, we moved. What I loved about that previous gym was that mats were laid permanently, so there was no need to pick them up, lay them down, and it was easy to clean. They've been there, comfort obviously for the user, as me, a gym owner or club owner, stepping in just straight to the training. There's no thinking about laying out, there's no thinking about breaking corners, moving them around, trying to fit them into the space and keep them clean. So that's one thing that was very, very stressful. We moved to the new location, which is a similar size but different layout. We've got a couple of pillars in the way, a little bit of steps and so on. My mats from the garage, which I had 20 square meters, were purely not enough for that gym. So I had to buy another 50 squares of a mat that I did. We bought the used one from one of our students who comes from a different karate club, and he was selling them, so he had a really good deal for it, and we've got sufficient amount of mats now. But the problem comes with a chipped corners and some interlocking puzzles missing, and laying them out took a little bit of getting used to it. Now we've got the system in operation. Again, storing the mats was a big issue. I wasn't sure if the church gonna allow us to store it inside. Maybe we had to buy a outside storage, which then brings another worry that if they might be stolen. But in the end, everything worked out. The users of the hall have a nursery there in the morning, and they've got 2 changing rooms, or all the rooms adapted to be a changing rooms, which we can use, and we can store the mats there. So this is one thing off my mind. We don't have to carry it for long distances. We just bring them out from the room, lay them down. Like I said, now we've got the system, so we stack them up in a way that everybody who is taking them out will not make a mistake. The good ones go on the center, the ones with the chipped corners go on the outside, so there is no issue with breaking the toes and so on. So that's one thing off my mind. We had a bit of an issue with the parking on the first training day, which spiked up my stress and my anxiety big time, because it's the center of the Guildford, it's a busy church, and we've got about 50 parking spaces. I turn up, there's nowhere to park. It turns out that there was some special event that we had a miscommunication with the caretaker, but then we learned that there is a massive car park that is not advertised. It's a private car park that is allowed to use for the church users. So this is another worry of the head, and we can use that. So we've got about 150 parking spaces, which is a great job. As I said, it's the center of Guildford, so people can come and use. And I hope to expand towards that area where people can actually walk in, because there's a lot of people in the center that rely on a public communication. We've got the bus stop right next door to the center as well, so it should work out properly for us. But that not having a place where you can put the mats is such a comfort. I do miss that, and I'm hoping that in the future we can work out towards having our own gym, which is permanently fixed with the mats and a space for us to train instead of coming in, laying the mats up, laying mats down. The other thing that I discovered, and thanks to Brian Bates from Zanshin Karate, used to use a steam cleaner to clean the mats. We used to spray them, then mop them, then wait for drying, and steam cleaner is a game changer. It takes 5 minutes to do when the mats are laid. It's instantly dry, keeps them nice and fresh, kills every bacteria. So thank you, Brian. It's a game changer for us and makes it much easier, the new place, to manage the mats clean. And it's nice and fresh training on the clean mats. It's so much better for all the students and ourselves. The other change we made is that we're going away from a high throws in the sparring, so we're going to be sticking into more takedowns. So we've been able to get the little thinner mats, so we're working on the 2 centimeters or 20 millimeters mats now, and it works really well. With the takedown, that's something again we learned from Sensei Brian in his club. We tried it in his club, and our students decided that we're getting a bit old and the high throws are dangerous for our backs and necks and stuff like that. All the students getting better, so it's very difficult to pull off a clean high throw, and you don't want to throw people on the streets anyway high, because you're going to injure them and you take the responsibility for it in the court. At least that's the possibility of happening. So we're going to stick to a takedowns instead of throws. I've got a thicker mat behind me here that I can always bring. We've got some little crash mats there, so if we want to do the high throws, we can practice them safely. We're just trying to not use them in the sparring setting, but you know, it's getting more and more difficult to do any higher throws and takedowns with the students, because they now accommodated to a training procedure, so it's just getting super hard to get them. They're not allowing you to get in and throw. So I'm looking forward to training more in the gym, in the new gym, new setting, getting used to it a little bit. There's different feel, obviously, because we've got the nursery cards around and stuff and toys, and it's not so martial approach to it, but the space is sufficient. Space is nice, it's clean, it's warm, and it's locally centered to the Guildford, so people can come. And as we've got students coming from all over the Guildford area, most of them is outside of the center. It's now centralized, so it's equal distance for everybody, and everybody expresses that they're very happy in the new place. And the main thing for me is the cooperation with that Guildford United Reformed Church is a very good. I'm working there during the day with Karate for Mental Health, and we've got quite a few projects going on with them, and being there for 8 years, it was a natural move. They welcomed us, they support us, and they help us to grow. We can tap in as well to their community, so anybody who is from there wanting to train with us, it's most welcome. In the other news, we've got the Christian Vedevard coming Friday for a seminar. So we're going to be Hit, Halt and Hurl Seminar with Brian Bates Sensei, myself and Christian Vedevard in Cranfield University. We've got lots of people coming in. There's few spaces left, so if you want to join in and have fun, come with us, train with us. Christian's going to be doing striking, Brian's going to be doing joint locks, I'm going to be doing somewhat throws and takedowns, all around the kata. So the joining theme is the kata, and we're going to look in 3 ways on different approach of each teacher, each expression of the martial art. And I love Christian's material. I am a bit biased because Christian is one of my best friends, but I love his systematic Heian approach, or Heian Bunkai Phenomenon book. If you want to grab the book, just up the top. He is methodically decided this cut through or decipher a kata, the pinans, create a system that they overflowing together, they're making a connected piece of learning and aid to students. If you use his program, you got a step-by-step program to teach you the applications for the Heian katas. On Brian's part, I love his experience from Aikido Jiu-Jitsu, putting into the kata and using those movements in a way that we can apply joint locks, holds, we can destroy the joints, and so on. So I'm really looking forward as well. Brian's got his own view on the katas and a system that allows to utilize those joint locks. They develop a system of practical application of them and practicing them under little pressure. So I hope we're going to enjoy that, and we're going to be learning how to put them against a semi-resistant partner, and maybe going to do some sparring where we can add a little bit of a joint locks. It's always fun. Brian is a great teacher, so I always enjoy working with him and learning from him. On my part, we're going to look on the hidden in plain sight throws from the kata. I know that many of people keep posting on my content and there's no throws in the kata. There's tons of them. We know that Okinawans learn tegumi or shima wrestling, so why would there not be throws? The movements are straight from wrestling and sumo, so there will be fun applying those, and we're gonna do some live practicing and putting those techniques in as a safe takedowns. Not gonna be going through the high throws, and I hope you're gonna enjoy it. If you're not gonna be able to join us there, we've got the open session in Guildford that everybody is welcome to join in. We're gonna be having a little bit more relaxed atmosphere. Everybody can be doing, we can ask questions. We're gonna be kind of feeling what on the day people want, and we're gonna be drifting there, doing the whatever comes out on the day. That's gonna be just with Christian Vedevard and myself, but everybody is welcome. It's gonna be on Fairlands on Sunday, and then we're gonna be going for a lunch after that, so everybody's welcome to join in as well. One of the other things I want to cover is that training long time in martial arts, we sometimes forget how it was being a young person and how much spirit means in martial arts. I've been honored to be on the grading for my friends from the Kuroten Practical Martial Arts, were led by Tracy Radley Sensei, and her son Liam was doing his first dan. He's 17, and I was invited to be on the panel for him. I've been invited to join in the sparring, and it is so good to see how the young people are able to persevere, overcome the obstacles, and put the effort into training. Spirit was great. He went through ups and downs during the sparrings and settings, so he was very tired, exhausted. Obviously, examination is something that mentally drains you, but he pushed through and went and done a great job and smashed it. Sparring was great, and his ability to adapt to a different environment. We've done some groundwork, we've done throws, we've done sparrings, we've done multiple attackers, and his ability to switch and having that spirit, the young spirit of, you know, I'm giving them 100%, I'm going to be worried later. It's something that I'm missing, you know. With age, injuries, you start playing safe. You don't want to go and get injured. You trying to think about oh, if I do this, I'm going to pay for it next day or in the future. And that young, unstoppable spirit is something that the young people have, and I do miss it. So yeah, it was nice to see that youthful energy going through the grading, and congratulations to Liam for smashing it. Right, that's it from me today. As I said, kids off school, so I don't have much time, and I'll be doing the review of a seminar next week, so hopefully gonna be some footage from it, I can share with you. Thank you for your support, and see you on the next one.